Welcome to D-Mop Garage. We're back on the 57 Oval Ophelia, and in the last episode we were doing body filler and sanding and and today we're doing primer because we've got some of the panels ready for for the first coat of primer. So we've got a nice day outside, so I figured we'll quickly put the stands out there and get the first coat of primer on these things and just have a bit of a look at them and see how good they look. It's going to be a thick coat for the first one, and then we'll go from there, adjusting our little areas that need a bit of attention. So let's get cracking on it. Righto, let's get another coat of primer on these front guards. Okay, so a second coat on the guards and a coat on the engine lid. And as you can see, especially in this sort of afternoon light that we've got, you can really pick out little issues. Once we've got the primer on, you can see here, there's a little tiny dent just there that I didn't pick up before. And there's just one slightly above it, little tiny dent. Also, I think there could be something going on there that will probably block out. That's fine. You can see a couple of deep scratches just there. And again, we can take care of those with a bit of the stop putty. Same thing again down here. You can see a couple of deeper 36 grit scratches that we didn't quite get out. This guard, I think, is pretty good. I don't see any dents in it. Again, once you've got a fresh coat on, you can really pick out a lot of issues. So again, some 36 grit scratches just through here. Again, didn't quite sand it good enough, but that's okay. Engine lids come up really good. Now, you've got to remember how much work I did on the back here, and you can see my 38 years of surfboard making, using your hand to sand a board, you really pick up the feel off your fingertips and your palm when you've got imperfections when you're sanding a surfboard. And it really does go straight over into automotive work. That's my background. I'm not trained in any of this stuff automotively, so it's all come from that surfboard background. You can see some imperfections just here too. A little bit of sanding along that edge we've got to just tidy up a bit. But this curved area here is actually pretty cool. A couple of pinholes, a couple of little scratches I can see in there, but nothing, that you can't fix up. So yeah, really happy with the engine lid. I don't see any other, because remember there was two dirty great big dents up here that we had to take care of. Yeah, that's our sort of first stage on all of these, and then now it's just going to be some fine tuning on these ones, and the next thing will probably be getting onto the hood or the bonnet. That one we still need to block back with the power file, but again, I don't want to do it in there because it's just going to create too much dust. So I'll probably take it off the body and just put it on a rack out here, and I can start filing it out here. That'll probably be the better go. But we haven't had a lot of great... Oh, there's Larsie up there waving. She's painting the house at the moment while I'm painting her guards. Interesting, hey? Let's continue on. Okay, guys, we're going to get on to the bonnet or the hood, starting off with 36 grit on the orbital, just to knock off all the highs, and then we'll transfer over to the power file on 36 grit as well. So let's make some dust. Okay, so after a little bit of sanding, you can see most of the guide coat's gone. We do have some highs, especially those two there, and they're very, very obviously highs. We've got a big low right there. Any dark spot you can see is a low, so we're going to have to rectify that. These ones here, big low there, big low here, big low here, there's a giant one right there. I mean, it's to be expected. It's only the first pass, and there's probably going to be quite a few more, but at least these side rail parts or curved parts are not bad. This is actually like doing a surfboard rail, so it's very familiar for me. Yeah, big low there, one there. So what we're going to do now is just get a pencil, and we're going to mark them all. Otherwise, you know, you mix up your filler and you've got a time frame of it going off and you just start to panic and, you know, so if you've got them all circled, you know exactly where to put the filler and move on to the next spot. So let's grab a pencil and do some marking. Right, so what we want to do with the pencil is go beyond the high, the low, because that's what you want to do, just so that when you come back, you're not digging a hole. You just pretty much do that, and you do need to use your hand. So something's funky going on that whole area, so we're just going to do this. All right. When you can't guess it and you're not sure if it's high or low, I'll just put a skim coat over the entire area and then start again by leveling it. We know that there's definitely a big giant one right here. All this, and minor one there, minor one here. Yeah, so it starts, you know, you're just drawing a map basically. Big one there, big one there, big one there, that whole area, that whole area, that area. So you can see what's going on here, just by going for the big spots to start with. Yeah, big one down there. There's actually a bit of a high on that, so a lot of that might come out. Little tiny one there. Okay, well that'll probably do just for the first batch. It'll be multiple goes over this to get it right. So yeah, let's mix up some filler. Righto, let's get some primer on the bonnet. Okay, so it's the next day and our primer has dried, and of course now it has revealed a lot of problems. I mean, obviously the 36 grit and 80 were just the roughing out stage, but you can now see that we do have you know, imperfections all over the place that we're going to have to rectify. Probably some of the worst ones. You can see here this hasn't been sanded properly. There's a little corner piece there. That section there is a bit suspect. You can see along here, this radius here isn't correct. It's got some bodginess going on. And down the bottom down here, it gets really bad. You can see from about here to here, you can see that that is not right at all. And this is stuff you're going to see as soon as this thing gets painted in a shiny colour. You are going to see those problems. So I can also see right here, there's a problem right there, needs fixing. And then the real issues are down here. And you can really see that this part here is not correct. Something's funky here as well. And remember how bad this was all smashed up. So, I mean, that's, you know, look, you can see here as well, something's not right all the way down here as well. You know, now there's probably a couple of ways to tackle this. Yeah, same with this side here. What we might do is make a mold using the fibril light. Basically what you do is you put some masking tape over the top of the area you want to try to replicate, and then put the fibril light on into a block and then remove it. And then you put sandpaper on the inside of that, and then you can run it down and try to get this a little bit smoother, because you can see it's all jagged there. This one here, the radius, it might be actually hard for you guys to pick it up on camera, but it's very obvious once you've got a coat of primer on it. Down here looks a bit suspect too. So yeah, there's definitely some work, and this is going to be really tedious, annoying work too. The sides seem to be pretty good. Again, I can still feel some lumps and bumps in it, so you know this will need another blocking out, probably with 120 with a guide coat on it as well, because I can just run my hand over here and it's not 100%. So yeah, look, my plan of attack, the reason why I hurriedly put a coat of primer on it is I'm going to be away skiing for a week up in the mountains, and I didn't want this thing sitting here in bare metal, because by the time I got back it would have had rust all over it. So it was a bit of a rushed effort just to quickly seal it up before we go. And yeah, just means we'll have to go back onto it now. But yeah, you can really see from here now, if you look along this line here really quickly, you can see it's just not happy all the way up. So we might try and take a mould. There's a nice little area there. I mean, it could change on the way down, I don't know, but it's worth a try. We might just do a couple. We might do a mould off this section here, and we can try to transfer that down to this part and on both sides. And yeah, maybe one here. I think that looks like a nice area that hasn't been damaged. So yeah, let's set it up and we'll make a little block. Okay, so as you can see, we've got some fibril light just in a little block here. Once that dries, we can pop that off, and then we can just sand it and fix it up. We've got another one here. So hopefully that will transfer to this little pattern that we've got in the metal, the pressing, and then we can use that to try to replicate the shape a little bit more. It's going to be tough because it's not all going to be the same, but at least for the areas like here, which that whole section there looks very bumpy and lumpy, at least we can pop one on there and try and sand it and see how good we can get it. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot more work on this bonnet, that's for sure. Bonnie, what's the problem? Oh, you want lunch or something, do you? Yes, you want lunch? All right, well, we might just end this one here so I can get up there and give us some food. I'll see you in another episode very soon on D-Mob Garage. You.